Hey, everybody, and welcome to another episode here at Tribal Trades, the daily show. And today we're going to talk about the one stock that could end up being a big winner. If you haven't realized, overnight there was an announcement that the US government was looking to invest in a certain sector. We're going to share what that certain sector is. We're going to talk about the legitimacy of this report. We're getting mixed messages already this morning. Four of these stocks have pumped, and I do believe that if this is a verified and valid report that came out overnight that caused these stocks to pump, the one stock that could be the winner in all of that, we're going to look at the SPY, and we're also going to look at the Nokia trade as well. Before we do that, smash the like button. This does help get this channel out to more people, and thank you for all the people that flood the comment section before the spam bots do. This does help support the channel, and if you're new, welcome to the channel. Smash that subscribe button, hit that bell notification, and you'll get the daily update. So if you did miss it in the overnight, in the middle of the night, we had this report that came out. The Trump administration was in talks to take equity stakes in quantum computing firms. QBTS, IONQ, and RGTI were mentioned. I'll also throw QUBT in the mix, and they all pumped somewhere around 15% on average. They all pumped in overnight trading. And I did post this in the Tribal Trades Discord, and there were some people that got in those trades and actually took some profit on those trades and made some money on those trades. And if you didn't know that there was even overnight trading or even pre-market trading that starts at 4 a.m., you can trade stocks 24/5, not all stocks 24/5. I do want to add that. If you didn't know that, and I am amazed about how many people don't know that you can trade stocks 24/5 or even from 4 a.m. from the pre-market to extended hours to 8 p.m. Then we teach all of that and more in the Tribal Trades Discord. Look, but the one that I'm feeling can be the winner, if this is verified and if this does end up being correct, I think would be IONQ, because the Deputy Secretary of Defense for the US government is a person called Stephen Feinberg, also co-founded a hedge fund called Cerberus Capital Management and was the CEO for 30 years before leaving in March 2025. The hedge fund has a position in, guess what, $100 million in IONQ. Now, also through my own detailed research that I did early this morning, I also feel, in my personal humble opinion, and remember, I'm not a financial advisor. This is not financial advice. This is for education and entertainment purposes only. Are you not entertained? In my personal humble opinion, the most qualified to get this deal with the government, if this ends up being correct, is IONQ. And of course, we do see here that these companies the US government took stakes in, and you can look all these four up on your own, and they've all pumped significantly as a result. However, breaking news, the US comment says they're not in talks right now with IONQ, RGTI, QBTS, or QUBT. Maybe it's somebody else, or maybe this person doesn't know. I always find it a little bit interesting when they say a US commerce official. Who was the person? If you spoke to somebody, if you got an email with something, then where is the name? Let's have some names. So there are conflicting reports here of whether the legitimacy of the earlier report came out. So I'm a bit 50-50 on this at the moment. I'm going to show you the INQ chart anyway, in case it's a trade that you're looking to take. There is a little bit more risk to it. We'll look at the SPY, we'll look at Nokia as well. So let's look at IONQ first and foremost. So when the news broke, it was around $55. I shared it in the Tribal Trades Discord as soon as I saw the article. And of course, this pumped all the way up to $65. Now, in the pre-market, it's had that news. It has pulled back to that $60 region. Now, if you were looking to take a trade on this, and again, this is not confirmed, do your own research. This is not financial advice. And you can see there is a little bit of a red there now, I think, as this other report is circulating. However, of course, if this does end up being correct, this thing is going to take off like an absolute rocket ship. So I do have a small position here. And if you're looking at potentially taking a position before the market opens, here. One such place would be at the 50 EMA on the 1 hour. That's at $60. Okay, we will lose that level. There's a little bit of support there at 59.41 and at 58.37. That's the 9 and the 20 EMA on the 1 hour. Then the 50-day moving average at 56.80 and the Fibonacci at 54.87. We have found some strong resistance there at around 63. I also want to jump to the 4-hour time frame and see why we found support there. That's the 200 EMA and the 50 EMA. They're all both together there as well. So that could be a potential entry there. Or if we do push back above the 20 EMA on the 4-hour at $62. So the entry above would be $62 currently. This is in the pre-market. You might be watching this a little bit later and things might have changed drastically by then. Or the potential there, as you can see, I think the news is starting to circulate a $60 there as well. So there are news reports flying around what to believe, who to believe, what's going to happen. The president has an announcement at 3 p.m. Is this part of it, or is this nothing to do with it? Is it to do with the tariffs there? This is all high risk. So if you get into the trade, reward for the risk that I'm taking. So this is, we're in the pre-market. You can see it's kind of bouncing around. There's a lot of news going around. Maybe there'll be some more news that will come out and confirm before the market opens. So if you're taking this trade, I urge extreme caution, stop losses for both to the downside and to the upside there to minimize any potential loss if this trade does not work out and if this news report does not end up being true. But I think if it does, this will be an incredible trade. And there's no guarantees either that it's going to be IONQ. It could end up being one of the other ones that I've mentioned earlier in the show. All right, so that's that trade. And at the moment, it does look like $60 is holding at the moment. So there is some belief there does end up being correct. And if you haven't seen my video yesterday, I would highly recommend you check that out. I did say we needed to hold the 9 EMA on the daily and the 20 EMA on the daily, which were at 666. Come on, 9 EMA on the daily. Let's get off that dreaded 666 and get up to the Fibonacci at 667. Because if we lost that level, then that brings into play a left shoulder, a head, and then potentially a right shoulder. It would still have some time to go and distance to get down to where I think the neckline would be at around about the 656 level here. And so we just don't want to see that. And so we do need to hold the 9 EMA and the 20 EMA on the daily. Those are the levels. And to the upside, we need to break 674. Two reasons for that. One, it will avoid a potential right shoulder. And number two, it would avoid a potential double top. So even if we got to 674, yes, it then invalidates the head and shoulders, but it doesn't invalidate a potential double top. So we need to get through 674 to 675 there at least to invalidate both of those things on the SPY. Currently in the pre-market, we are at 667, but the fear that is being faced in the market, the fear, uncertainty, doubt. We've got 3 big events coming up. We've got the CPI tomorrow. If that comes in hot, that could bring a bit of fear in the market that maybe we don't get the rate cut, which then the second event is the FOMC meeting. Maybe if we don't get the rate cut, that would be fairly bearish as well. So we could come in hot with CPI. We may not get the rate cut. And what if the tariff deal, most importantly with China, is not concluded by November 1st? So there could be 3 very bearish catalysts, but these also could be 3 very bullish catalysts. What if the CPI doesn't come in super hot? What if it comes in as expected or not overly hot or even lower? What if the Fed does cut rates on October 29th expected? And what if the tariff deal does get done on November 21st? And we've also got to consider that we might get a rate cut, but not the tariff deal with China, or we may get a rate pause and the tariff deal. There could be a combination of any, and this is why I think the market is struggling a little bit. I think after November 1st, we'll get a clearer direction of where the market could be heading for the month of November there. So stay tuned on that one there. And then the Nokia trade that I gave at $5.50 way back here on October the 14th, I gave this trade in the Tribal Trades Discord. You could have even front run it and got it in lower at 535. I know some of you did. I took some profits up around here. I got back in the trade yesterday in the live session in the Tribal Trades Discord. We have live sessions 2 to 3 times a week at about 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time yesterday. Got back in that trade. I shared about that. And look what happened in the pre-market Now, by the time you're watching this video, the earnings most likely have been released, and this will have either pumped more or possibly pulled back. So everybody here is either locking in profits or setting a stop loss to make sure that if this trade goes south and if the earnings aren't good, then stop out at break even. But I would, for me, I'll be stopping out in profit, and I've already taken nervous coming into earnings there. One of my positions, I had two positions open. I've taken profits on that one position, and I have another position that will stop out if it starts to retrace heavily there. And I always recommend before you take a trade, have a trading plan. It's one thing to take the trade. It's also entirely another thing to protect the trade and make sure you have a stop loss strategy and a take profit strategy there. And of course, if you want to learn that and a whole bunch more, you can join the Tribal Trades Discord, one Discord to rule them all. And you can see this as well. And you can see some great wins in the wins section there. We have Parker, even on a down day yesterday, she's absolutely crushing it towards her 1K per day goal. We have the 1K per day challenge, and we're seeing many more and more people taking up this challenge. And we don't recommend jumping in and straight away going, oh, I'm going to join the Discord and 1K per day is going to be my goal right away. Always recommend, maybe for a day, maybe $100 a day there that you can get started with to begin with. In that way that you start small and you work your way up to $1,000 per day. This is how many have done it, including April Parker, who came into the Discord and wasn't even doing any trading at all. Actually, she was watching and learning and listening. And then she started to take trades, just making $100, $200 a day, and realized, hey, this system really does work. The tribal trade system works. And then she started to scale up. And now her goal is 1K per day, which she's making and more, of course. And I know others in the Discord, like Oak, making $2,000 a day. His goal originally was just $200 a day. And then very quickly he was making $500, $600. And then recently he's been up at 2,000. We heard his incredible story in the Tribal Trades Discord in one of the live sessions there. And you get access to all those live sessions, the recordings of those live sessions, the full Tribal Trades trading system, as well as, and of course, access to April Parker's trades. She's now a crowned trader in the Tribal Trades Discord. She has her own channel where she shares her own trades there. And we've got a whole bunch more coming. We have a Tribal Trades indicator that comes with the price of the Discord. And we've got another indicator that we're looking to develop. I'm very excited. It's probably, just giving you a clue, going to be called the Yellow Brick Road there. I think it's going to be a game changer as well. And so you can get signed up for the Tribal Trades Discord waitlist. We're currently closed at the moment, but there is incredible benefits on getting signed up today. Now, the waitlist link is below in the description of this video. You might need to click the more button. It'll pop out and the top link there. Now, when you click on the waitlist link, it'll open up and it will ask for your payment details. Okay, you are not going to get charged at all. You just add your payment details and that reserves your place in the queue in the waitlist, and you will only get charged when you get added to the Tribal Trades Discord. What are the benefits of getting in sooner rather than later? Don't delay, don't wait. Reason the Discord is going up. The next time that we open it up to everybody, and we'll do that one more time this year, probably as early before the end of the year, it'll be. But if you are currently in the Tribal Trades Discord or you get on the wait list before the price increase, you are grandfathered in at the current rate, which will be a lower rate once we put the price up. And that is locked in, guaranteed until at least January 2028. So over 2 years, you'll be grandfathered in at that VIP gold OG level there, and that will never be repeated again. So once the price goes up for any new signups, we will never repeat the low rate that it is, which is the current rate right now. And the second great reason, it just gets you higher up on the wait list. From time to time, we have people that aren't able to renew the subscription or don't have the time right at this moment to use the subscription, or they let that lapse, and then we're able to move people from the wait list into the Tribal Trades Discord. And if you are in the Stocks with Josh Discord, you channel there also in the Stocks with Josh Discord. Waitlist, there's the link below. And we don't do lock-ins. It's just month to month. So if it's not for you or if you're not able to use it, there's no problem at all. We wish you all the best. But I just know that when you come into the Tribal Trades Discord, I call it family, Tribal Trades family, you're just not going to want to leave when you see just the incredible wealth transformational stories we're seeing, particularly with the $1,000 per day challenge. And we experience, and that's why it is a closed Discord. All right, time for today. So until the next episode, or until I see you in the Discord, happy trading.